What's going on, guys? Sam Adams here, and today we're going to be taking a look at this Google Cardboard, which is actually a special edition of Google Cardboard that's themed like the BB-8 droid from Star Wars The Force Awakens that came out last December, just in case you didn't know that a new Star Wars movie came out. So pretty much this is a VR headset that is available to pretty much everyone, and you can get one for about $20. Obviously, they're not going to be themed like the Star Wars The Force Awakens, but you can buy different versions of Google Cardboard that are ranging from about $17.95 if they are on sale, which I think was the lowest price I found one for today whenever I was checking my facts. But they range all the way up to, I would guess, around $50 or so, but they're not insanely expensive. You can buy higher quality ones, but this one is literally plastic and cardboard, which is why it's pretty impressive, because it is, by all means, a virtual reality headset. So I've already kind of pre-assembled this one. I will throw up some more detailed instructions of how to assemble one of these things if you were to buy one, somewhere up in the corner right here. But pretty much you just... whenever you want to go and use this thing with your device, you just pop it out of the case. Obviously, as you can see, it's pretty much got the same design as the outside of the case, and then you have this kind of thing going on. So obviously there's a spot for a nose. This is where you would look into, and then it's got some Velcro on the sides, and then a nice little button right here that has a touch screen kind of pad on it that I'll show you here in a minute. But pretty much what you're going to do is open it like that, sorry for that noise, and then you have some instructions of how to set up this piece of technology right here. We'll get that centered. So as you can see, you'll just fold this piece down, and then you'll clip it with the Velcro, and then you'll put your phone in the back. So pretty much what that means, let me go ahead and get my phone ready, just to show you guys how it is actually done. So you'll take these little flaps off, and as you can see, this kind of folds over from the back. And so we'll come down right here, make sure that's clipped in on the sides, all nice and snug, and then right here is where your phone will actually go, and there's also a line whenever you're watching YouTube videos, for instance, that actually allows you to line it up perfectly within this little vicinity right here. As you can see, there's a little indentation that would show you where you're supposed to line up the line, which it would be about right there, and then you close that in, and you have your virtual reality headset, which I think is a pretty awesome piece of hardware technology and a pretty impressive feat of engineering, considering that the engineers are literally playing with some cardboard. So as I've been saying, I've been watching some YouTube videos. That's the main use of it for me at the moment. Just because of how it does YouTube videos. So you can watch any video on YouTube within this piece of hardware right here, and it's pretty much like you're in a movie theater watching any kind of YouTube video that you really want, which is where I was really impressed with it. And there's also 360-degree video channels that I thought were really intuitive, and I thought that they did a very good job with the kind of content that they were supposed to be making for this kind of thing. But without further ado, now that we've put it together, I think I'll go ahead and sit down and tell you guys a little bit about my thoughts on this piece of hardware after using it for a few hours, as well as a couple of stories that I have to go along with it. So with the Google Cardboard, it's not like an HTC Vive, it's not going to be like a PlayStation VR, it's not going to be like an Oculus Rift by any stretch of the imagination. Those are pieces of hardware that are $600. Obviously the price of the PlayStation VR and the HTC Vive have not really been announced or talked about much, but we can guesstimate that they're probably around between $400 and $600 themselves, maybe even a little bit more. This little piece of technology right here costs $20, and where I really saw value in it was through two kind of facets. The first is through education, because of the low price of this thing. Obviously, already high schools and middle schools are dishing out money for iPads and different kinds of tablets. My school that I graduated from had a lot of Chromebooks because they were low cost, and they gave kids access to the internet as an alternative to going to some kind of computer lab. Now with this thing, there are some interesting utilities for it whenever it comes to education. For instance, Google Street View allows anyone to put on this headset and look around in that Street View kind of thing that Google Earth has, and you could literally go to Rome and look around at the Colosseum. You could walk through the streets of Italy, so to speak. You can go to anywhere in the world and really just take it in. Obviously, if you wanted to put a 3D camera inside of the Grand Ole Opry, or if you wanted to put a camera inside of, say, the White House. I believe they've already done a 3D tour of the White House. You can do that, and these kids can see all of this for their, first time, first-hand kind of experience, and that's a very unique thing that many generations of the past have not had, and it allows for an entirely new level of connectivity between the student and the information that's being taught. Now, the second major use of this kind of thing is actually in convincing people that VR is a technology that's going to be going places over the course of the next decade or so. And the number one point I have for that is actually my mother, because she was absolutely enthralled with this thing, and I was actually kind of surprised. She had never had any previous interaction with VR. Of course, I think I've talked about here on the channel, I've had an interaction with an Oculus before. It wasn't one of the big, $600 Oculus rigs that they're coming out with now, but it was an early development kit. Its resolution was relatively low, and I didn't feel really in the experience, but it definitely gave me an idea of what Oculus was trying to do and what they are going to be doing whenever the new Rift comes out this year. So I was kind of, I'd already known what to expect, and this little piece of technology, this little piece of cardboard and plastic, already had outdone that version of Oculus that I had played about a year and a half ago or so. And so I was amazed by this. I went into the living room. I said, "Hey Mom, try this on, just hold it like this and look through it." And I was watching a 360-degree boxing video, and it was actually buffering at the time. The connection was bad where I was in the living room, so the video started buffering, but I actually couldn't take this thing away from my mom because she was so enthralled with just looking around the room that she was in and people watching, seeing what some dude was holding, looking down at her feet and seeing the boxing ring below her feet, looking at what the guy's tattoo said that was actually in the fight. That's the kind of stuff that convinces people that this technology is going places over the course of the next few years. Now, of course, if you were to try to convince someone to, early adopt an HTC Vive, an Oculus, a PlayStation VR, any of these big, expensive headsets, they're more likely not going to do it just because of that initial price cost. With this thing being $20 for a base bundle, or you can get a viewfinder kind of idea for about $40 or $45, that allows the general public to have major access to this kind of thing, and it allows more people to try the new technology sooner so that the advancement can go faster, if you get what I'm saying. As I was saying earlier, this is not an HTC Vive, PlayStation VR, or an Oculus Rift, but more so, this is showing people where the technology can potentially go and where the cost can be at if enough attention is given this kind of technology. Personally, with the Google Cardboard, I can't wait to see what it does in the field of education, and I really can't wait to see what it does with just kind of spreading the message of VR itself. So there you guys have it. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you did, drop me a like down below and comment and tell me what you think about Google Cardboard. Do you like my BB-8 version? Do you have a Google Cardboard, or have you ever tried any kind of virtual reality at all? Let me know what you think in the comment section down below, and of course, if you are new to the channel or you've never seen any of my other content, be sure to head over there and check out some of my other content and subscribe if you do enjoy what you see. And as always, I want to thank each and every one of you guys for watching this particular video. I'll talk to you soon, and peace.